Hi all, I'm Melissa and welcome to Oh My Word, Melly. So today things are a little bit different because I am going to talk about and review a book that is near and dear to me. So I thought this change is a little bit required for this book. So in today's video, I am going to talk about You Truly Assumed, a debut novel by Laila Sabrine, which will be released in February 2022. And I'm very thankful for Laila Sabrine, Inkyard Press, as well as NetGalley for giving me this EARC in return for an honest review. So I hope you enjoy this review and let's get started. Honestly, this is the book that every one of you should look out for in 2022. It's a fast-paced book as well as the prose of it were written very simply, and that simplicity aided it to be more realistic and more relatable, which was really amazing because I truly love the book for its simplicity as well. And in the author's note, she has said that she always stares at the cover of You Truly Assumed at least once a day, and I can't help but agree because the cover of this is amazing. Honestly, it's a beautiful cover to look at and it really drew me in. The first time I saw this on NetGalley when this was listed for requesting, the cover is what first drew me in because I have not seen a cover with a Muslim representation on the cover so boldly, and it drew me in. And then when I got into the book and I started reading the synopsis, I just knew I had to read it, and I requested it on NetGalley and I just didn't give up there. I messaged the publisher, I messaged the author, I spilled my entire life story to the author and the publisher to show them how much this book relates to me and that I really badly wanted to read this. I didn't even care if I came across as begging and being desperate for this book because I knew that I had to get my hands on it, that I had to read it. And I'm so thankful for Laila Sabrine for making it possible for me to get the EARC. I have no words to express how thankful I am for this. There are so many things that I loved about this book that I will get to know, but the main thing was how well the readers get to connect, bond with the characters, how well we get to know them and their lifestyle, like how much they love the community, how they interact with the community, with each other, and their ups and downs in life that really makes it possible for the readers like us to connect with the characters, and it was really lovely. This is a YA contemporary novel told from the perspective of three black Muslim teens, namely Sabriya, Zakat and Farah, who live across the US with different lifestyles, family dynamics, thought processes, and even the way they engage in faith. These three come together with their various talents to start a blog called You Truly Assumed for any Muslim teen to join them to stand against Islamophobia and all the racist remarks that they get due to a terror attack that happened in the country which impacted all their lives, as well as an outlet for them to express their emotions, what they are going through, how this terror attack, even though they have no involvement with it, how it impacted them, and all that bundled up emotions to let it out, to discuss with similar people or similar age groups to see how it was impacted for them as well. And I thought it was really inspirational because they are teens. All their summer activities, their internships, their college applications, everything was put on hold, were impacted, all their dreams stalled because of this terror attack, even if they were not involved in it. And I truly can relate to it, and it was that's the main reason that I wanted to read this as well. And trust me, like, it's not only that throughout the book, it's so inspirational, so motivational that I just wanted to keep reading. Talking about the blog, YTS, or You Truly Assumed, I loved each and every blog entry that was shown on the book. So across the book, here and there, many of the blog entries that they did on the blog, that where these three girls collaborated and posted on the blog, was shown, and I loved them all. I loved them so much that it felt so real that I wanted to interact with it. Like, I wanted to be able to reply to the blog, engage in the conversations like they were having, and to be a part of that community, to be a part of the blog entries and a part of the blog in total. Like, honestly, I wanted to be a part of that group to help Sabria, Farah, and as well as Zakat in the blog, to engage with them and to help them create awareness the way they were doing. And talking about the blog entries, the main blog post that stood out to me was the blog post about dreams. I'm not going to say more about it because that's a blog entry that every one of y'all should read and experience for yourself. But I can tell something about it. A lot of people in real life have told me that with a hijab, I can't dream, that I will never be able to reach great heights. But I'm so happy to say that I have proved them all wrong, and I have achieved where I have set my heart at. And to see that 3 teens and many other teens as a collective are finding their voices in this book and standing up against what is wrong was truly inspirational, because I knew and I felt and I have felt exactly what they are going through. I'm pretty sure if y'all read it that y'all will also understand what I am saying. This book also captures what it is like to be a Muslim, a person of color, as well as a woman, and to face racism, Islamophobia, as well as sexism, to be pushed to the extremes, to be ill-treated, cornered, singled out, and to be pushed to that limit where they fear their lives because of the way they identify themselves, or their faith, what they believe in. But this book is not only about racism and all those horrendous things. This book also captures the community. It also focuses on hope, friendship, budding romances, children and even adults alike finding their voices, stepping out of their bubbles, and mostly family, building strong family bonds, and how the strength of friendship and family could aid in overcoming anything that is thrown your way. I can't stress this enough. Y'all should already head on over to Book Depository Blackwell's, wherever you can pre-order this book, because this is one book you should read, every one of you, whether you're young or old, irrespectively. This is something that y'all should read. I even think that this is one book that should be taught in schools as well, because it's so inspirational and you can learn a lot from it. After the Easter attack in Sri Lanka back in 2019, my thoughts and prayers are with everyone and every family that was affected and lost many lives due to this. I, as a Muslim, faced a lot of racism and Islamophobia, so I know what it is like to be labeled as a terrorist, to be looked at as a terrorist, even though you were not involved in it. So I knew every single fear these children had. There was this scene at the beginning of the book, it's where Sabria, right, and her sister, where they feared that they didn't know if her mother was going to come home. Was their mother affected by this attack? What has happened? And they even feared going to their school, interacting with other people. So I knew what it felt like. Let me read you two parts of conversations that I came across the book. Please don't let it be a Muslim who is behind these attacks, because if it turns out they are, then the consequences of their actions will be put on Muslims across the country. The worries about the aftermath of an action none of us were involved in, but we are all connected to because of our faith, it's terrifying. Again and again, this book becomes so related to me at every level, because these were the exact same thoughts I had at that time, and the memories that started flooding in was just making me more emotional and unbearable. And it is terrifying to be labeled as a terrorist for some actions done by mindless fools that you were not even involved in. Even as a community, to be blamed, to be a part of something like that, it was truly painful. Friends, people who were close to us, when they started turning on us, no one knows how that feels until that happens to you. So honestly, this book, talking about it also was is actually heartbreaking. It's very emotional. Honestly, to be sitting here doing this review is something that I found really hard, because I didn't know if I can get through this, but I am doing this because I need to convey this book to y'all, to make y'all read the book as well. Hats off to Sabrine, the author, for depicting across this book that there is no right way to be a Muslim or to be Muslim enough. There is nothing. Being a Muslim is something about your intentions, and it's something again that I can relate to, and I know I was nodding my head saying, so true. That's something I couldn't put out in words. So when I started reading it and seeing it, and I was like, yes, that's exactly what I was feeling, because I don't have a name that sounds Muslim, and there are people who have told me, really, you don't look like one. And I have always wondered, is there a way to look like one? And for Sabrine to be able to nail that, man, hats off to her, honestly. I was so proud that someone spoke about it or just said it out loud, because truly seeing Sabriya, Zakat and Farah, three different lifestyles, even the way they engaged in their faith, it was amazing to see such a diverse representation. And another thing that stood out, and it was amazing, it amazed me so much, was the masjid or the mosque that Zakat attends to in her community. Y'all will read it in one of the chapters, and what stood out a lot for me in that is, in that mosque there were no separate entrances for women and men. They had one common entrance because they wanted every Muslim, irrespective of how they identified themselves, as in non-binary identification, right, can enter the mosque and pray. They even had a non-labeled prayer room, which I thought was something amazing, because they didn't want to alienate these people from coming to the mosque and being able to pray. I know this is not something we see in conservative communities, and I'm pretty sure this particular representation can have a lot of backlash from conservative Muslims, but hats off to the author. I really loved such representation in such a deep way that I really loved that part of the book. This book is also an exemplary depiction or a great example of how social media can be used for the good. It also shows both the good and bad of social media, but it also shows us that social media can be used for the good, to create awareness and to do something in return, or do something good in return to the community. But in this book, we also see how these three teenagers and every other teenager who interacted on the blog were targeted because of the blog, because of their faith, and as well as how they were cyberbullied and threatened for it, and how it's affecting all of them. Like, it was captured so beautifully. Like, Zakat was someone who wasn't that headstrong when it comes to bullying, compared to Bree and Farah. So how it affected all of their mental health, and like how they feared these threats, and how it's affecting them, like the way this affected the mental health of these mere teenagers were just unfathomable. Like, really, I couldn't relate to it. I sort of have related to it, but not in a cyberbullying sort of way. I have heard people just talk, be racist to me to my face. But still, at their age as teenagers, like I am impressed how they overcame it. But to see in detail how it affected their mental stability, their mental health, it was like spot on in this book. I honestly want to know Laila Sabrine's thoughts behind this, what she was feeling writing this, or the emotions that were flowing through her mind writing this, as well as what experiences have led her to write this book as well. Honestly, she's one brave woman to write such a gravitational book on such a big topic. Even though the writing style of this book was like simply casual and not as deep and gravitational as Angie Thomas's books. Well, Angie Thomas's books are the only books that I have read that I can compare with You Truly Asim, so that's why I'm comparing it. It was true to its genre. Like, this is definitely YA, and the way the story and the message of this story was portrayed to through that simplicity, like it just etches into your mind and you feel it deep down to your bones what you were reading. Even though this is fiction, nothing felt fictional to me. I felt it more realistic, that even the characters were not just some made up characters. I felt that they were real human, real people, and this is something real that I am reading. And something big that I learned from this book is, or by reading this book is, you don't need to read non-fiction or go for lectures or webinars or seminars on these non-fiction books. Like, if you do like them, yes, go ahead. But what I realized was, you don't need to read non-fiction to learn things about life or to motivate yourself, because fictional books like this also has a lot you can learn from and a lot of empathy as well. One last thing about this book, would you believe me if I said the author is only 20 years old? I couldn't believe it. I am so amazed by her. She's a beautiful soul, because I have had some conversations with her as well. She's truly such a sweetheart, such a darling, and she will respond to her fans so kindly. Like, honestly, I was amazed at 20 years old. I know I was doing my degree, but to write a book to address such a thing, honestly, I cannot relate to that, and it just blows my mind. You Truly Asim is an amazing debut novel from Laila Sabrine, and honestly, you can say that it is something personal to her. So please pre-order this book right away, or buy it once it's published in February in 2022. I can't wait to see what other books she writes, and I can't wait for them as well. She is going to be one of my most favorite authors as well. I gave this, obviously I'm pretty sure you all would have understood or realized by now, but I gave this a 5 out of 5 star rating because it really is amazing and I couldn't say anything bad about it. Like I just had nothing. With that, it's time for me to wrap up this video. So if you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up, and also if you want to see more of me in other videos, do click on the subscribe button and on the little bell icon so you will be notified when I post new videos. And with that, until I see you in my next video, here is me saying bye and stay safe from Oh My Word, Millie.